Guys, check out my lightsaber.
Hey guys, I like Han Solo.
Hey guys, the fourth is female.
Oh my god, this is so good. We're not streaming yet.
Oh, damn it.
I had to text one of my drivers today to ask for a picture of something, a document. And he's off work today. And I felt like I had to say, "May the 4th be with you," to even bother him on this day.
Oh, that was the icebreaker.
Yeah, it was.
May the 4th be with you.
All right, we are now streaming.
Oh, okay.
May the 4th be with you.
Star Wars has just become a joke shadow of its former self.
Yeah.
Feel that way. Definitely with the main story.
Yeah,
The solo movies not seem a lot better. Like Rogue One, I thought
we've
was
only
better.
had one. You can't make
Well,
yet.
we'll see after Han Solo.
We'll see with
yeah.
Han Solo.
Solo.
We'll see how that.
Yeah.
You guys think that kid's gonna be a good young Han Solo?
Do what?
That kid they cast.
Did you say Johan Solo? You know my favorite character, Johan Solo.
I like it. You dropped the yo beforehand. Yeah.
It did sound like that.
Johan Solo.
I said
Great
Oh,
samurai warrior.
Okay.
Harrison Ford wasn't even a great Han Solo.
Oh, that's Dave watching the streams.
Yeah, who's got
Ford
the
wasn't a good
volume?
Han Solo.
Well, how does how are the volumes? How are the levels? If you're gonna if you're gonna hear it, I'd like to know how the levels sound.
Well, we could hear it, so that's good.
Cool. When does that movie come out? Isn't that soon?
May 24th or 5th.
They really missed a golden opportunity there, didn't they?
Sure did. They just maybe like 20, 25 days sooner.
Yeah, and it would have been on a Friday, which is when movies come out, and it's weird that they would not take advantage of that.
Hey, get Sherlock out of there.
God. Dave trying to sneak his.
I did sneak.
Is that what your
Sneaking his
parents did to you as a kid
Sherlock.
with your toys? Just
I snuck that right up
burn them
there
all.
on him. He gave me the stink
I was gonna
eye,
give
too.
it. I was gonna light it on fire. Wouldn't that be fun? Right in the
No.
middle of
No.
the streaming.
You don't want to hurt Holmes.
Who is that dressed up as Sherlock Holmes? What Muppet is that?
Smith London.
Johan.
Yeah.
Johan Holmes.
Yes, Johan Holmes.
Johan.
Yo Holmes. Yo Holmes.
His name on his butt tag is Sherlock Hemlock.
Hemlock.
There you go.
That's weird.
He is his own Muppet. He's not a Muppet playing a Muppet.
I'll bet Hemlock is the Muppet.
It's like I am my own grandpa.
Just like that. Sherlock Hemlock. I'm going to Google it.
So when I'm watching the stream this week, I'm watching it from
Yeah, he's his own character.
the website or from Verbal Assault Podcast.
Uh-huh.
And I'm noticing that I can't invite my friends as I did when I was just watching, as David said.
Oh, yeah, because it's a page. You're not a person. You're a page, and you can't. Yeah. Well,
And
it
that-
already invites people. It already invites people that like the page, so it wouldn't. Anybody that already likes the page just got a notification that we went live, so it wouldn't really make much sense.
We're gonna jump this Facebook ship soon anyway.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, I mean, just really whenever, because we can stream this to anything, like Mixer, YouTube,
My
fucking
preference,
Twitch, whatever.
but I'm still not entirely sure that you can just stream on YouTube from the get go because
Oh.
just the other day I heard somebody say, "Hey, I need 2 more subscribers and then I can stream on YouTube." Like you have to have a certain number of subscribers already. That was always my understanding, but then I kept searching and it wasn't clear. But
Well, I
Yes.
know that like with the app, there's a button to go live, like just with your phone. So I know you can stream, but it might be something like you have like a 5-minute limit or something like that.
yeah, I think they want to have people kind of established and have subscribers, and they kind of want to avoid the whole Facebook like, hey, I'm gonna stream me murdering this person,
Right.
or stream me jumping off a bridge,
Yeah.
that kind of shit. So
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that Steve-O got a chance to experience the mixer low latency the other day. It's
Top
amazing.
notch.
Top
Wow.
notch.
Top notch. Like, seriously, dude, when we were playing the other night on Rocket League, I had my phone just set next to me so I could see, just so I could make sure that it was running and everything. And it was not even a full second delay. It was like I would do something and then I would look, and it's already happened by the time I could look there. But like whenever you score a goal, they play the replay. I'm watching my screen and watching my phone, and my phone's about a half second behind. I couldn't believe it. Like where everything else, it's like a 15, 20-second delay.
well, the thing with that though is we looked at it, and I think with Mac, it only works on iPhones and iPads. It doesn't actually Mixer isn't. It doesn't work on just like a laptop.
Oh yeah, this isn't really that. It's not that applicable because for our needs, we're just streaming, and it doesn't matter if it's 10 or 15 seconds behind. I was just impressed. It has nothing to do with like our voice chat or anything like that. I was talking before about getting the Xbox Live app on your computer, but that's something else because it's not even available for Mac.
Yeah, that just seemed crazy to me. I don't.
I know.
It's like dumping a whole big can of worms.
It's like really like at least Apple makes iTunes for PC. It's fucking clunky and it's slow as hell, but at least it it's a thing.
Kind of let they've kind of said that they're going to stop iTunes in
Oh, really?
about so yeah,
Oh, just iTunes in general, like
like
called
music. Figures. Yeah,
They're the same thing.
That's
they
what they're
just,
wanting to
they
do now.
suck the same amount. It's just we'll call it something different.
Whoa.
What's the new thing? Just Apple Music.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, iTunes is a good name. I don't know why they bothered with. I mean, Apple Music is a service, I guess, and so they needed to differentiate. But
I enjoyed it to keep like my audiobooks and stuff.
oh
on
yeah,
it.
I use Apple Music. I love it because I can tell Siri to play anything I want and it'll play.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Then the song comes on. Anything I want.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be great.
It does play the wrong song a lot.
Do y'all know that there is a Muppet called Don Music? Can
No.
you guess what his job is? Don Music.
He's a janitor.
It's a DJ.
He's a composer.
No.
Don Music.
Wow.
It's not even ironic.
Okay.
Wow.
Tell us poems early.
That was beautiful.
Like I'm so good. I'm just gonna pull shit out of my ass.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
at
do
the
this shit
beginning.
like Kanye
Yeah,
in a rap battle.
saying slavery's a choice. Crazy.
That
Saw
isn't
that.
actually what he said, but that was how he was portrayed.
Yeah. Well, I watched some of the video.
Yeah.
and he's
Yeah,
like,
I mean that's
"Ugh."
what I saw was.
What he said was what he was aiming at was that 400 years at some point it becomes a choice. He's saying that it's been 150 years since slavery has ended. You don't have to act like a slave now. You don't have to focus on the past was what
Mhm.
he was saying or aiming at.
Mm.
No.
Damn TMZ.
Far be it from me to defend Kanye
Yeah.
West. Here I am all the time. I
I
get
hear you.
forced to fucking defend Trump and Kanye West all the time. And the way shit is nowadays, I guess I'm a fucking Kanye West loving Nazi.
Well, don't forget about Kim Jong-un now. You got to defend him too.
Yeah, I do. Kim Jong Un, he's looking for peace. Look
Yeah.
at him.
Planting trees.
Look at him in that haircut.
Hey, they already went back to the normal time. Did you know about that? Like how North Korea was offset by half an hour just to spite South Korea. And,
What?
Yeah. And apparently part of this thing was they've already agreed to go back on normal time with South Korea.
I saw you 30 minutes faster.
I was listening to it was actually a really good episode. I'm not even all the way done. It's like an hour and a half episode on the podcast Stuff You Should Know. They have an episode called North Korea, What's the Deal? And so far it's been really good and really informative. They go back in the history of when the Kim family was first put in power by the Soviet Union.
I want to listen to some of that.
Yeah, it was really good.
Mm.
There are a couple of, I mean, the ones I've listened to these guys, it's just a couple of dudes that they're not experts on anything. They just study up on it and deliver to you what they, the conclusions they've come to. So it's not like you're listening to a historian, but it's really good.
That'd be how I'd be. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
You get that you would want to hear it from a historian?
No,
That's the kind of person you'd be.
enough just to collect the data and go, this is what I came to. This is what I figured out. Right.
Dan Carlin's the only historian for me.
Yeah, right. I don't know that Italian guy ain't bad.
What's his name?
History on Fire.
Daniele Bolelli.
Yep.
Oh.
Really? I
Nice
thought you were
name.
making that up.
No, that's his
Yeah.
name.
Throwing out a random Italian name.
No, yeah.
But episode 0 was
Mhm.
basically an ode to Dan Carlin. In his suave Italian accent. So the first thing I wanted to do was to talk to Dan and find out, and basically, so you think I'm the only person that can do a history podcast? No, go right ahead. So I just wanted his blessing.
Oh, that's
But-
so nice.
He's such a sweet guy. That Daniele Bolelli, he used to go on Duncan Trussell's podcast all the time, and he is just the nicest guy in the world.
Yeah, I really groove on it.
Yeah, he was saying something on Twitter like, I've been researching this shit for 20 days and I got an hour podcast. It's a lot of fucking work to do something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he was the kudos for Dan Carlin was. He does so much research and he's talking about reading 8 to 20 books on a topic. Whoa.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to Verbal Assault.
Bringing us back to the old days.
We're back to the old days where we introduce stuff. My name is Nathan Eckel. Becca Penland is here. Say hey.
Hey,
Patrick Everett is here.
Yeah.
Steve Marr is here.
Sorry, but you're gonna have to pause on me because I got everybody. We're gonna place bets real quick. It's gonna be real easy, real easy. Now you gotta tell you first. You gotta watch this. I'm gonna pause it, and you gotta tell me what you think is gonna happen.
Brad's bedroom.
It's Brad's bedroom.
Right.
He's gonna get slapped out of the bed.
What are we
what
placing
is that,
bets
a
on?
baby?
What are we placing
cat.
bets? Okay. What the cat's gonna do?
I don't see anything.
Is it gonna make it to the bed?
I don't know. What do you think?
That's a coon.
I think something is gonna grab that cat out of midair.
Yeah, something's gonna kick it.
All right.
Yeah, I think somebody's kind of hiding behind the bed there.
Holy, that's a leapy leap.
They're gonna jump up and do something to that cat.
Becca, you got a bet?
Alligator.
I know what they do to it. I've seen this video before.
Oh,
I can't really tell what it is.
Dave's
from
all
here.
up into the idea of cats
I
flying places.
watch cat videos,
Yeah.
man.
Well, it's paused now, Becca. So you're not gonna be able to. And if I hit play, then you're just gonna see. This is just a GIF. I couldn't find like a video version.
He hits it with a taser.
It's the cat jumping off a sink. What do you want? What do you think's gonna happen? Place your bets. You got a bean on it.
I think it's gonna slip.
well, it's already jumped.
I actually paused it a little late. That should have been an option. All right. Let's see. So Patrick and Nathan get to eat a bean.
We don't have any. Let
We
me
don't
see it
have
again.
any
I want to see it
beans.
again. We
Oh
don't
wait,
have-
I guess Becca gets to eat a bean too.
We don't have beans.
Oh,
That was it.
that was it.
I
That
thought that was
something
like
crazy.
Yeah, I thought it was a shelf in the corner, but it's actually way into the bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's quite impressive leap.
Yeah, that is.
It's a very impressive leap.
Hey guys, for all you listeners, we learned Steve-O really loves cats, y'all.
Not really. Not really.
It wouldn't be verbal assault without cat videos.
Yeah,
Oh, there's young Link there.
Becca,
Yep,
what are we
young
looking at
Link.
now?
That is the link I sent Steve-O this week. It's a link from Majora's Mask.
Looking
Okay.
good.
Yeah, he's got a
Looks like
sweet
some
blade.
weird stylizing. I don't know if I like that version.
Oh, I love
I'm
it.
gonna be honest with you.
Yeah, that was like
It's-
the same eras.
It's just like
Majora's
Ocarina of
Mask.
I can't
Time.
see it very well though.
No comment.
That's fine. You don't have to.
Dave 70, you're here.
Appears as such.
This is my new greeting. I was like,
Appears as such.
hey, what's up, what's up, Dave? Appears. Oh, all right. Okay. Appears.
I'm appears.
Dave appears.
Poof.
I appears for beers.
It's the name of your new show, Dave Appears.
No, huzzah.
Dave Appears, comma, huzzah.
Because I was last
Mm-mm.
Friday
That's
or the
true.
Friday before.
That's right. I did. That was my.
So we do have verbal assault news, but it's only one story.
Oh man.
And the reason I'm calling it verbal assault news is because I wanted the whole article to be read, and Becca's really good at it, and I hate doing that. So,
All right.
Okay.
Oh, snap. Something went wrong while displaying this webpage.
oh, that's fine.
probably because I closed all their ads. They don't like it when you close their ads.
Oh,
Oh,
something got
fixed it.
jiggled. Yeah. Did that do anything?
I mean, I'm good. Check.
Yes.
Check. Everything's
What?
good.
yeah, the audio's fine.
I don't like that title.
So,
What title?
well, here we'll just let Becca run through it.
All right.
Okay. Do I get my news song? I guess I don't.
No, I didn't know.
You didn't know? There's some.
No, I just saw it. I just thought it was just an article that Nathan was going to talk about.
Hmm.
Well, this is Verbal Assault Far From Fake News with your
sorry.
host.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that part.
As of April 27th, which is when this was posted, University of Texas to treat masculinity as a mental health issue.
What
The
did it do? What
Counseling and Mental Health Center at the University of Texas
Oh.
at Austin recently launched
Cool.
a new program to help male students
Yeah.
take control over their gender identity and develop a healthy sense of masculinity. Treating masculinity as if it were a mental health crisis, MasculinUT is organized by the school's counseling staff and most recently organized a poster series encouraging students to develop a healthy model of masculinity. The program is predicated on a critique of so-called restrictive masculinity. Men, the program argues, suffer when they are told to act like a man, and when they are encouraged to fulfill traditional gender roles, such as being successful or the breadwinner, or kill that
What?
spider. I added that part. But it's true. That does happen a lot. Though you might enjoy taking care of people or being active, I should mention there's air quotes, or there's actual quotes, but I should make air quotes around the word.
Active is so masculine. Get me over here.
MasculinUT, which stands for University of Texas, I guess, warns that many of these attributes are actually dangerous, claiming that traditional ideas of masculinity place men into rigid or restrictive boxes, which prevent them from developing their emotional maturity. If you are a male student at University of Texas reading this right now, we hope that learning about this helps you not to feel guilty about having participated in these definitions of masculinity, and instead feel empowered to break the cycle the program offers. It is currently without leadership, but not for long. The school is in the process of hiring a healthy masculinities coordinator to run the program.
It's gonna be a gay guy.
And
Watch.
and a school official tells PJ Media that some hopeful hirees are interviewing for the position later this week. And while many schools now have similar programs, this appears to be the first run directly out of a counseling and mental health center. Though the school seems to justify this by claiming that masculinity can cause them to lash out at other people and themselves, the school did not respond to a request for comment to clarify. There is no evidence that masculinity itself contributes to violence. Universities that run similar programs, such as UNC, Chapel Hill, and Northwestern, have admitted that their programming isn't supported by any evidence.
It just makes us feel sad when they are so macho. They're acting macho, like pushing each other around, being all macho man.
What was the name of that course?
Masculine.
I
Masculine.
just love this idea. Just imagine.
Masculine with a UT at the end.
Imagine all these boys and men going to fight in fucking World War II and shit, and like just going and experiencing those hardships, and just it was all mental illness.
It's all mental illness. We can help you out of this, and you don't have to feel guilty for taking part in these. What do they say? Masculine displays.
You have gender normative masculine displays, like that people expect you to be active and care for your family and shit.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with you have testosterone in you and you like shoving your buddies around playing grab ass.
Wait,
Is that what you did?
Do they not call it grab ass when it's dudes? I don't know. I'm just saying, like, fucking.
So doesn't know.
That's okay. All right.
What is grab ass, according to you?
They
pushing around and chasing each other and fucking around. I don't know. We had a teacher at Heritage who was like, "Oh, you guys playing grab butt all the time," even though he couldn't say grab ass, but he'd say, "You guys over there playing grab butt." It's just
Around.
yeah, just horsing around.
Yeah, not grab ass.
yeah, those are different things.
Okay.
To talk about masculinity here, Steve-O. We just said Steve-O.
You shouldn't feel bad though that you don't know what grab ass
No,
is.
you shouldn't. It's a mental illness.
Yeah.
You're already free. You don't have to worry.
I feel so much freer. I don't have to act all macho around my friends.
It's fine.
Like, have you guys ever watched Jocko Willink's podcast?
No.
He was like he was a commander in the Navy SEALs. He was in Iraq and Afghanistan, and he was like the definition of the man's man. He's fucking huge. He's killed people. And his podcast is awesome, and he just talks about like taking responsibility and how to be a good leader, and it's about how to be a man, basically. And
Yeah.
it's mentally ill, I guess. Mentally ill.
Does he hang out at University of Texas much?
Maybe he needs to.
I guess so.
He should go down and give a speech.
It does seem like a weird place to have something like that in Texas.
Yeah.
I don't want to change the subject, but I'd learned something this week about there's a college campus, and it's kind of some stuff that you had said before on the podcast. There's a cry room.
Yeah, right.
Oh, my
yeah.
God.
Cry closet.
Wow.
Yeah, cry
Yeah.
closet.
Yeah.
I forget what university. You're just having a rough day. I gotta go to the cry room.
That's sad.
And that sounds like they need to get in touch with University of Texas, and men should have a cry room.
I have a
Instead of
cry
this
room,
whole course.
but it's not like I haven't set it aside as a cry room. I just have a room if like I'm having a really bad day and I'm mad, I have a room that I would go in if I started crying so that people wouldn't see me.
Well, we're trying to develop a class for that so that you don't have to feel the guilt that comes along with, being a woman or being feminine, having estrogen, things like that.
Yeah. I do have a problem with feeling guilty about that.
It might be a mental health issue, actually.
Add it to the list.
Well, it kind of is. This is like basically feminism run amok, gone to the far end of not only do we want to support female rights, but now the only way to be is female.
We need you to go ahead and act like a female if you could. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's in psychology. There's this whole, you go into Jungian psychology and the idea of like you have the terrible mother and the great mother. There are these sort of archetypal ideas. Like the terrible mother is sort of that destructive aspect of nature, and it's also that sort of that protective side of a mother. And then you have the great mother, who is the that nurturing and the birthing side and of the female, but in a sense it's like feminism has gone to the terrible mother phase, as far as it's gone to the grasping and destructive side of, we are going to take our feminine side and impose it upon everything else. And it's like it's being pushed in academia, this idea that any kind of masculine thought is just that's what they call it, toxic masculinity. So, and it's really just a twisting of femininity. It's like taking it to the extreme. Just as you can say masculinity can be taken to extreme to let's say like dominant brutality, it's the same kind of thing of this sort of, we're going to, it's like the safe spaces, the cry closet. We feel so motherly and so protective and compassionate. We're gonna have to, we'll get you a cry closet. You don't have to worry about being challenged or being afraid of somebody saying this to you. We'll give you everything you need, everything you want. We'll take care of you, and you'll be safe forever. And we'll turn you all into fucking monsters along the way. I mean, that's called, it's the Oedipal mother. It's the mother that doesn't let her kids grow up. Basically, it's we take control of you, and as long as you stay with us and do what we want, you can have all these things.
I'm curious as to if they'll make some kind of, as time goes, and I'm only hypothesizing here, and just thinking out off the top of my head, if they make some kind of causation with testosterone and some atypical behavior that doesn't fit the norms, that now men can, it's not so much picking estrogen, where you're trying to change your sexual identity, but they'll give you something to reduce your testosterone levels so
you won't be so douchey.
So you won't be such a man. You
to fit in and be like
right,
more.
Well, what's funny is there's actually a court case, which is the I want to say it's a girl track athlete who is not allowed to compete with other girls anymore, and she lost her court case and has to go back because she just has high testosterone levels.
Was she taking it?
Nope.
Oh.
Just naturally
producing,
very masculine.
Right. And so there was this, the reason why they had come to this was there's a level of testosterone even in women, and she exceeds what that number is for women, whatever that is, that arbitrary number that it seems to be some average. And what do we do with that situation if she's an overly masculine woman?
Like, how do they come to the conclusion on that? Like, were they just trying to?
She was just crushing.
Yeah, just like there's no way this woman would
in competition.
Yeah,
and I think in drug testing, they're looking for testosterone levels and estrogen levels, and I'm sure that they take a whole blood panel.
Yeah,
but what I was trying to make that connection was, it just seems interesting. What do you do in those situations when she's clearly a female and she wants to be known as female, but she can't even compete with females because she has too much testosterone?
Yeah,
well, that's when they say, "I am woman, hear me roar," like they cheer her on. Probably, I would think.
I would hope, but I don't know. She lost her court case, but that kind of takes away from this news article.
Well, there's an interest kind of going along in those lines. They've done studies where they've shown that when women are on the pill, they are more attracted to softer men, and when they're off the pill, they are by and large more attracted to more masculine men. So what we have now is more women being attracted to less masculine men, and then they are having kids, and then you are now having, in a sense, the softer kind of men going
raising the kids,
more promoted to where the less masculine men are the ones that are having kids. But yeah, it's an idea. It's not like it's. I don't think that's a hard thing because I think women still like manly men. It's pretty obvious that they do when you look at what they're into as far as like movies and TV shows and shit. They like the big muscle dudes.
Oh, Vin Diesel.
That
Yeah.
Vin Diesel, right, Becca?
So one thing I was thinking is just like maybe this isn't as bad as we think. Maybe there's a lot of douchey dudes around there, and they're trying to tone down the douchiness. You know, trying to teach these guys like because probably for guys it's kind of tough to drop that masculine persona. Like they've been hanging out with their bros for years and doing all this dumb shit. Playing grab ass like you do, and
You're
Yeah.
bros.
yeah. And maybe they're like trying to think of a way to make these guys realize you don't have to be so douchey, and at the same time you don't have to be made fun of by your friends for all of a sudden not being so manly,
It's a very, I would call that optimistic view. I think it's far more insidious than that.
It is and I think the reason I'm thinking it is because when I was bringing up this link, there is another article that has come out since then and is actually like higher up on the Google results list, and it was like, let's see, what was the title? It was MasculinUT program does not threat masculinity as a mental health, or does not treat masculinity as a mental health issue, UT says to conservatives. And it goes on, it talks about how Rush Limbaugh and actually names the PJ Media, that website. And it's basically just quotes from them, from the University of Texas. MasculinUT program does not treat masculinity as a mental health issue, and any such statements are simply not accurate. It was established to bring more men to the table to address interpersonal violence, sexual assault, and other issues. So this is kind of their defense for it.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what they do. They have this whole statistic. It's like it's some crazy, ridiculous number. It's like 4 to 5 women will be raped in college.
Mm-hmm.
It's this whole like idea of rape culture that's in college, and just like everybody's just all the men are just there's this like secret rape club everywhere that
Yeah.
prowling all over colleges raping women.
Hide your kids, hide your wife.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think it's okay to be a man. It's okay to be a woman.
Yeah, and even if it was like trying to get these guys to stop being so douchey, I mean, some guys it's just a coming of age, and they like people kind of have to go through these phases. Some people do it more than others. Some people don't do it at all. But it's one of those things like you almost have to just let it run its course. I mean, yeah, if they do something illegal or harmful to somebody else, obviously, they should be punished for it. But
Well, I don't.
if you're just trying to get dudes to stop acting so dudely,
But no, see that the same dude, the same masculine dude energy that you have, that's that aggressive thing. That's the same energy that you also have to go out and fucking make something, build a business, or invent something,
Right.
or further you do scientific work. That's why guys work their asses off. At least the ones that are far more, in the line of that kind of what's the word? Industrious men are super industrious. They work nonstop,
right?
and those guys that get super successful, and that's that masculine thing that we've talked about before. Like that's why the men by and large end up being the highest achievers, because they have that masculine drive of fucking do it nonstop. It's just in them to do that.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's interesting though. I've never heard of anything like. And they said that they're not even the first. Right? What was it? What was the other school they said that?
Chapel Hill.
And then there was no evidence.
I've been to Chapel Hill, and let me tell you, when you go into that fucking town, they have a sign up, and it says 30 miles per hour, and it says the entirety of the city limits is 30 miles per hour. And they have just crazy lights everywhere, and the traffic sucks. Like, it's just a blanket. It's a blanket of 30 miles per hour.
Yeah,
It made me crazy when I was in there. I was like,
yeah, there's other sounds.
Yeah.
Sounds like
that.
budget cuts.
Sounds like
That's
a
what
pretty
it is.
soft town.
Yeah.
Sounds like a bunch of pussies ambling around in there.
Being
Soft,
guilty of their past masculinity.
little noodly, girly men. Noodly,
Noodly girdly.
noodly gurgly.
Yeah,
Jellyfish.
They don't want the
mussels.
men drag racing through their towns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what's going on, guys? What y'all-
Well, speaking of fucking industrious men, I'll take it from here because we got a.
how everybody's pissed at Elon Musk? Apparently.
Oh, are they? I didn't see that.
Yeah, that's not working.
Well, here's this cat. So a huge milestone is about to be reached here in a few days whenever this next launch happens. But first, I'd like to go back a little bit. So the Falcon family of rockets was started with the Falcon 1, which launched the first time successfully in 2008. Okay, so 10 years ago, not even, because it was September of 2008. So it was this little guy. If you look at all the rockets that they've got, I know you guys can't see it real well, but you see it's this little itty bitty guy. Oh, I should have fucking looked up and see exactly how big they are. Huh.
How many fields big?
How many what?
How many football fields big?
That's a measurement we can understand.
Yeah.
Not even one. Yeah, they're not that big. Okay, so that was launched in 2008, and then just 2 years later, they launched the very first Falcon 9, which is this rocket. Oh wait, you can't even see this. I need to share my screen.
No, I just thought maybe it was on a delay.
No,
There's
it
a
is.
rock.
Hmm.
Here, I'll go back and I'll show you what I was showing before. So you got this little baby Falcon 1 down here. This is the first rocket they launched. And they launched it 4 times. Only the 4th one was successful. Actually, they launched it 5 times. The 4th one was successful. The 5th one was too. So 2 years later, after a bunch of money from NASA, they developed the Falcon 9 rocket, which is 9 engines on the bottom. We've all talked about it before. And that's
Right.
this guy here. Now, do you notice anything about this? I know you haven't seen as many of these pictures as I have, but does it look maybe a little stubby? Maybe like a soup can, like a chud, you know? You know what you remember what a chud is, right?
Is it like a chode?
Well, a chud is a wiener that is wider than it is fat.
Isn't that a
Or, I
joke?
mean, I'm sorry, wider than it is long. No, a chode is the span between your asshole and it's your taint. Chode taint is the same thing.
Ah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know.
I
didn't
finally
either.
learned
Yeah.
something a new slang that I hadn't heard before.
Yeah, chud. Well, chode is the taint. Chud is the wiener that's fatter than long.
So it's more girth.
Yeah,
than
it's
width.
a lot girthier, right?
Looks like a crayon.
And maybe it is. Maybe it really is. Well, because the Earth is flat. So, so this is Falcon 9 version 1.0, right? So within a year or so, they had already upgraded this rocket, and it's just called the version 1.1, and it's what you see here, and it looks a little more normal for what you're used to seeing as far as length and girth. And then within the next couple years, it doesn't look much different. The big difference you're going to see here is you got legs, you don't have grid fins, whereas on this launch, and this happens to be the first rocket to land successfully right here.
That one's got a nice head on it too.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, and it's got the feet, and it also has the grid fins to help bring the first stage back down. And so this is the very first rocket that they ever recovered successfully, and this was the start of really learning how reusability was going to happen. How in what state do these rockets come back, and what can we learn to try to improve them and be able to reuse them reliably? And they've been basically on this version with slight upgrades periodically, but very slight throughout the years. They've upped the thrust of their engines and stuff so they can carry heavier shit into space. But as of a couple days from now, they will be on to Block 5, which is this beautiful beast right here. It doesn't have the head on it because this is a picture from today's static fire test. But look at these beautiful black legs on it. Oh man, and this awesome looking black interstate. It's all white and black with the racing stripe down the side. And that's not the big thing about this. I'm pretty sure that these were all the legs and the interstage. I think would have already been black before, but they painted them white. And I think now they're just like, fuck it, we don't need to paint them. It's just extra weight. But I'm not 100% sure about that. But anyway, this is going to be their new workhorse that, if all goes according to plan, and I'm like holding my hand up as if you guys can see me. If all goes according to plan, this rocket should be able to be reused 10 times with almost nothing done to it. Like, this is supposed to be the rocket that's going to be like airlines, where they bring it in, give it a once over, make sure there's no visible damage, and it's ready to go again.
Wow.
So this, you're probably not going to hear about this on like major news stations or anything. Not for a while. Not until this has beat the other rockets that have already flown. Like, they've flown several of them twice, right? But they've never flown any of them more than twice. But once this one starts getting up into maybe its third or fourth or fifth time, I think people will start believing that there is a change, and this right here is how they're going to bring the cost of space flight down. And also, because they don't have to build a brand new one every time, or not even every other time, like, they may not even need to build a new one every 10 times, because they're saying after 10 times, they just go in and tinker around, maybe change some things, and then it's ready to go again for another 10 times. And they want to get over 100 uses out of each of these. And so imagine okay, so let's say this first stage costs $10 million for them to produce. But now they get to use it 10 times. So now it only costs them $1 million per use, as far as the actual construction of it. And then they can charge whatever they want. There's been a lot of talk like, well, when are they going to bring the prices down? Well, they don't have to, because there's all these other companies that all charge at least double what they charge. So they can keep charging what they want and putting that money back in to build the Mars rocket.
Yeah, we just want to get to Mars, man.
Fuck yeah.
And I just gotta imagine if Trump had grabbed that rocket by the pussy 15 years ago, everybody would know about it. Everybody would know about it.
Yeah.
Know about it.
Yeah, that's true.
Porn star would have known.
Everybody would know.
And I was trying to keep pointing out all the dates and when these things happen. So it went from the first launch of this vehicle to now they've got no other rocket company's ever built anything like this, and they've done it in 10 years. They've gone from first version to this thing that's supposed to be reused 10 or more times in 10 years. And you've got these other companies that they let their shit sit with almost no changes for that long.
Bezos just sitting in that Blue Origin building, just fucking jerking off and having his head shaved.
Oh, he's waiting. He can't wait to get out there on the pad, because they're gonna be getting so much press whenever they start launching, because it's gonna be, Blue Origin lands on a moving ship, and Blue Origin's rocket is bigger. It's true. It's gonna be good, and man, they're really starting to turn my head, man. I'm starting to be a Blue Origin fan here. They just had a test launch not even a week ago, the 8th flight of the New Shepard vehicle, the one that's supposed to take just paying passengers up into space and back.
How can you cheat on Lord Elon like that?
Hey, man. Bezos has so much more money, bro. So if I have to keep an eye, I got to keep one eye towards Bezos, because if Elon fails, then Bezos has enough money to. He's pumping $1 billion into this company every year, and Elon doesn't have that kind of money. That's real.
For shame.
He has an ex-wife.
Yeah. All he did was build PayPal. He didn't build Amazon.
I get kicked out of Tesla, running Tesla. So,
Weren't they filing for bankruptcy or something recently?
Are you thinking about the April Fool's joke?
Oh, was that when it was? Because I thought it was after that.
Well, their
No, he
stock
did
price
a-
isn't doing great.
Yeah, he
Yeah, I
did some
think that
kind of
was something.
call. He did. I don't know.
Yeah.
I read one article about it. You never know how these fucking things go. You can't
Yeah.
trust any goddamn thing you see. But
There was one that was really good. It was probably the same call you're talking about. You might have heard this clip, but this guy got on there to ask a question, and he's like, so we're thinking about battery production. I know you don't know when you're going to be able to hit the 3,000 per day or per week or whatever the number was, but do you think I know you use Twitter a lot. Could you let us know? So it's a little harder to convince people to go ahead and jump on board. And stuff. And he was talking about day trading, and Elon just like, well, just don't. Day trading. If you're a day trader, then this isn't the stock for you. This is we want long-term investors. We don't want people that are going to jump in and jump out. Like, he really busts the dude's balls about it, and the dude was still like, "Well, could you still let us know?" He's like, "No, I can't. I'm not going to let you know shit."
asking some financial question, he was just like, "You're boring me."
Yeah.
Let's move
Oh, that's right. Yeah. He's like, "This is boring. I don't want to talk about this."
stock plummeted
Yeah.
that day. I don't know. I mean, I hope Tesla's
No, I heard
okay.
that.
I hope
No,
they're
I heard that. I
Domino's-
still can't afford it.
Domino's stock is doing pretty good.
Yeah.
They've surpassed.
What's a Domino's?
What's a Domino's? Did you say what's a Domino's?
Yeah, what's
Go
the
on.
Domino's?
Domino's has surpassed Apple, the parent company of Google,
Huh.
and Amazon for stock growth in the last 7 years.
Oh, growth, like a percentage growth or something.
That's
Hot and ready. You know what I'm saying?
Am I right, guys? Am I right?
Hey, do you guys have any proof that Australia exists? Like, just Try.
Love the crocodile hunter.
try. Well, that's not proof. The way you feel.
I have a friend that I talked to on the phone there, like
He's an actor.
a month ago.
Does anybody have any real proof?
I used to play the Tasmanian Devil game, and that took place down there somewhere.
Yeah, I've seen Crocodile Dundee a bunch when I was a kid.
Yeah.
and I'm in Australia. I kick ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're all
Want
actors. It's
that
all
Australia.
actors. I need solid proof. Prove to me.
Where
That-
did the didgeridoo come from?
Yeah.
Is this? Are you flat earthing us right now?
Yeah.
What's going on?
As I understand it, I might
I've
be
seen-
convinced that there is no such thing
There's
as
enough
Australia.
threads of evidence.
I've seen a movie that was filmed down there where they killed the kangaroos.
Yeah. See, I haven't been there, but there's enough threads from enough people for me to say yes,
Actors.
Australia exists.
They're actors.
Uh-huh.
How do you prove it? How can you prove it? You're going to go there? The pilot's just going to tell you you're going there, but he's going to take you somewhere else. You're not going to know because you've never been to that
So
other place either.
It's a vast Australia conspiracy.
Where are we going with this?
Hopefully the Flat Earth Convention in Canada in November.
I joined the Flat Earth subreddit, and then, like within the next week, someone created the. Let me share it with you. Where's the bottom subreddit, dedicated to how the ocean has no bottom. The elite are trying to tell us that there is a seafloor when we know that there's not one.
Oh, awesome.
Oh my god!
Interesting.
Yeah, Jesse brought up the No Australia thing. That's what I didn't ever know that the pilots were a conspiracy involved. That they don't take you there.
Yeah,
They
I
actually take you there.
we talked about it today. I read a couple of articles about it. Apparently, it started in like 2006 that people were saying that Australia was a government
So
conspiracy.
Fucking retarded. It makes me so.
Well, I can say with 100% confidence, "Where's the bottom" is a joke.
Yeah.
and actually, the Flat Earth subreddit, like at first I thought, okay, this must be the real thing, and they were even bragging like we finally, we defeated this other subreddit or whatever. They're joking too. So the Flat Earth joke subreddit has beaten out all other flat Earth subreddits.
They did a Poe's law.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know, law.
Yeah. Talk about that.
It's like, all right, exactly how it's worded, but basically, it's eventually the fundamentalist's arguments, like say a fundamentalist in religion, their arguments they're not distinguishable from parody.
Oh, okay.
So like you don't know if you're reading a joke or somebody's actual beliefs because it's gone so far beyond. That same thing with SJW shit. Oh, masculinity is a mental disease. Is that a joke? I don't even know.
Here you go.
Here it is. Yeah.
Here you go. Poe's law is an adage of the internet culture stating that without a clear indicator of the author's intent, it is impossible to create a parody of extreme views so obviously exaggerated that it cannot be mistaken by some readers or viewers for a sincere expression of the parodied views.
Yep.
There you go. That's good.
And sarcasm especially is already hard, and it's even harder on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
But there was something where it was like, it's like I forget what the number. It's a bigger number than you think. It's like 1 in 5 people don't understand sarcasm. So if you make a sarcastic statement and they're just like, wow, that person's like, well, they really are a Nazi. Wow.
That's got to be mostly online though, right? Like they just don't pick it up.
I've heard Bill Burr talk about this in his comedy shows. He's talking about the fact like he knows there are just certain people that just don't have sense of humors.
Right.
And he's even seen people, he's like, everybody's laughing, then you'll see the one guy that's kind of looking around at everybody. and then he'll just kind of start like, you know, he'll open his mouth and make the noises. He's like, he doesn't get it. He doesn't get the joke. He's seen enough people who's like, just some people just don't understand humor. And you probably know somebody like that.
Like their brains can't comprehend
they
that you mean
don't-
something different than what you're
They
saying.
literally can't see it.
You know, I have a theory about maybe some people with that condition, and it's that they're actually just really narcissistic, and they're looking for you to say something while you meant it sarcastically. They want to set you straight. Like, listen to me because what you just said is wrong, and I need to set you straight. Maybe. No? Does that not ring true?
They're looking past your joke and just wanting to correct you.
Wanting to attack, what you just said, and take it at face value. Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
You know.
You know what I'm saying, guys?
No.
Don't you know?
Don't you know?
Dave, what's going on with you?
I mean, I'm all right. I'm just sitting here. You know, I'm taking it all in.
Taking it in.
I mean, there's a lot of information.
Didn't
I'm not
seem
going
like
to a flat Earth convention, that's for sure. And you know, did you think it's November in Canada? It's gonna be way cold, man.
Yeah, they make jackets and stuff though.
The spotlight's further away. I mean the sun. I mean the sun.
The spotlight.
That's terrible. It'd be interesting.
Terrible.
Ha ha ha.
Okay, check this out, guys. I want to show you this. I wasn't sure if I was going to bring it up, but we're at a loss right here. So check this fucking shit out. All right. So here, I'll show you this picture first.
Yeah, for all you listeners, we're gonna look at a picture.
Yeah, we're gonna look at something. So feel free to watch live. This will be up on YouTube. So what we're looking at is it's a picture of the Andromeda Galaxy. Okay, and each picture is zoomed in a little more, and a little more, until at the bottom you're left with what looks like static. But some nice Redditor put this link to where basically this was found. So you guys can see this. This is like one quadrant of the Andromeda Galaxy, which is the nearest galaxy to us. The galaxy that our galaxy will collide with in 5-10 billion years or something.
Oh man, that was sooner.
That's more than a week.
Yeah. It's coming for us, but not very fast. So I'm not sure. See, this is spacetelescope.org, and this is a zoomable image of a extremely high resolution image of the Andromeda Galaxy. So I'm going to start just clicking. You can make out the structure, right, guys? You can at least see like the arm of the galaxy. Okay, so I'm going to click here. It's going to zoom in, and you see it kind of load up.
Yeah.
And it looks like you're looking at a grainy image, like if anybody out there is into digital photography, it looks almost exactly like if you've got your ISO turned up too much. It's a digital enhancement of light. You just see grain, and it's a lot like when you're taking a picture at night. You know how like the images, your camera, like especially your phone camera at night, like it takes pictures, but they're always grainy. Like they don't look as smooth as when you take them during the day. So we zoom in a little bit more, and then you just see that grain just keeps getting worse and worse.
Mm.
And then you keep going in further, and you see these bright spots. These are bright stars. In fact, as far as I know, like anytime you see these ones that are so bright that they got the little like cross kind of shooting out from them, that's actually a star that's closer to us. So it's probably in our own galaxy. But you keep going deeper and deeper, and this grain you realize is not grain. These are all stars.
Oh.
And this is looking at another galaxy. And just in this picture, when we've zoomed in about as far as this will go, there have got to be thousands in this little tiny box.
Crazy.
Isn't that not insane? It blows your mind.
I thought it was gonna be a joke. Like keep
This
zooming in.
keep zooming in. There's like a huge dick.
Some- yeah,
So,
Amazing.
that is really cool though.
so I encourage anybody out there, even if you're not watching online, just go to spacetelescope.org and well, the address is /images/HEIC1502A
got that?
// zoomable. But
I thought he goes, I encourage any of you out there to go to space. That's what I thought he said.
period.
But continued with the rest of the website.
One day he'll say this on this podcast for real.
I encourage you all to space.
Yeah,
Go to
be
space.
selling it on people. Becca, what's going on with you?
Nothing. I'm just
Making
trying
poetry?
to prepare my application and audition for the Flat Earth Convention.
I mean, I think you're there. You said that Australia stuff with authority,
Yeah. I was
passion.
talking to Dave earlier about the possibility of us as a podcast renting a booth at this convention, maybe trying to convince them that we're on their side, but then just go and debate with people and put it on air.
Like, what if we
Troll them. We have a troll team.
I
What
bet
if-
they'd kick you out.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm thinking. They probably would.
I think they'd vet you before you got there.
What if we got, when you're graduating from high school? I mean, I know some of us here have. I haven't.
Yeah, me neither.
Those that have graduated from high school, or anything, the flat hats with the tassel,
Oh,
Take
yeah.
the tassel, get the flat hat, paint a little United States on the top of it. We got our fucking flat Earth hat.
And then put like where Australia at, bro.
Yeah, and then go in there and start selling those babies. $25 a pop. Make all kinds of money.
You think Lauren could paint a bunch of those for us?
Oh, I'm sure she could. Oh, and
She
you can
get started.
you can make the little cap part, the part that actually goes over your head, like paint a turtle.
Yeah.
So they
Oh. yeah, that's good. With a little turtle head sticking out the front.
That's good. You're good at acting like you don't have a sense of humor.
Yeah, Dave's learned something about himself tonight. All right, well, I guess it's that time of show again, everyone.
I was gonna ask if we had like a snoogle or snoops or what is it we do?
What? Snoogles?
Yeah.
Snoogies?
It's just
A snuggie. Yeah, a
That's it.
scruple.
Scruple, that's it.
We don't, but we could momentarily.
I don't know how long we've been going.
Oh,
Do we owe the listeners more, or have we given them enough?
They don't pay. How do?
Yeah, they
mean,
they
how
can
do
pay
they
us
owe?
through Patreon.
Joseph
Some
does.
of them do. Yeah.
True.
I don't know. It's
Brad
hot in here. I
does.
looked
It is
over.
hot.
I
It's
looked over
59
at Dave
minutes.
and I was like, "What's going on?" And Dave looked at me like I'd asked him about a dead relative. Hey, Dave, how's Meemaw doing?
No, he's been he's been listening to us all week. He hasn't been listening to any other podcasts or anything. He's just listening. Yeah, I asked everybody to listen to ourselves so we could find some funny clips because I'm putting together like an audio. Like I'm already almost done with the 45-second thing. But we're going to try to put together like a best of montage thing. And so everybody's been listening to our own podcast for the last week. And
Some perfectly timed out gold.
yeah.
Wow.
Start to finish, spaced out exactly to the second. Good shit.
All right.
I
I have,
just-
huh?
Past episodes, listening to them all the way through. I've gotten through like 3 of them.
Ooh.
They're
Sounds
2 hours
rough.
long.
You don't have quite as much time as some of us do to listen.
There's some that was like 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm,
We were getting home late.
yes.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
still do, but the first hour is spent making sure that all the streamy stuff
Oh,
works.
No, we don't have
Yeah.
to worry about it.
Yeah, we're working now.
So here's a hypothetical question, or a scroopy, whatever you called it.
Scrubby bubbles.
Snoogle.
You're walking in a forest. This is just for all of you. We'll just discuss. You're walking in a forest and you find a black suitcase. Inside it holds $1 million
Keep
and a
it.
piece of paper
Keep it.
stained in blood with a single word: don't.
Yeah.
Take the suitcase home or leave it.
Take it. Take it.
Yeah. I'm just gonna ignore that message and just take it.
I absolutely take it and then immediately move. I mean, I will never go back to any place where someone would know how to find me.
Yeah.
Well, and get rid of that suitcase. They might have some kind of GPS tracking shit going on.
Yep.
It's got blood on it.
Yeah. Definitely get rid of that paper.
Take all that. Take all just the money. Take the money. Leave the package. Don't touch anything
Yeah.
with your fingers.
Yep.
And then don't tell any of your friends that you have $1 million. Move away and disappear.
But what if it's fine? What if the don't means don't leave it here?
I mean, I guess it could.
Yeah.
You're supposed to take it. Don't pass this up.
This is your one shot.
He
Just-
died while trying to write it.
I'm not supposed to talk about it.
This is like a lesson in seeing the glasses half full from Becca Penland.
Yeah.
Hey, it could mean don't leave it behind.
And they wanted so badly to deliver that message that they poked their own finger and spelled it out in blood.
Yeah. All right, here's one. I'm going to see if you guys can help me make sense of this because I don't get it. There are 2 birds and 2 doors. One door leads to heaven, the other to hell. One bird lies, the other tells the truth.
Oh.
They both look the same and can't see each other. What would you do? Says at the end. What would you do?
Just what would you do? I'd walk away.
We walk through the heaven door. I don't
Yeah.
care about the birds.
It's-
What would I do?
Dave, what would you do?
The doors are clearly marked, right?
mean,
Clearly marked.
I think this is supposed to be like a rewording of that one riddle.
Yeah, yeah. You're supposed to say. You're supposed to ask either one of them what the other one would say.
Yeah.
Ask 'em. Oh, right.
Yeah.
So that's what you would do, is you'd ask them.
I'd ask the bird, "Hey, what would the other bird do?"
Yeah.
I'd say,
Hey,
give
what
me
would you
another
do?
card.
He's like, he'd take a shit. I don't know. He'd eat some bird seed. I don't know what he'd do.
I would ask the birds, what would
Yeah.
Jesus do? What would Jesus do? Hey, bird.
Hey, bird.
What would Jesus take?
Yeah. Oh, Jesus would probably go to the hell.
Oh, yeah.
He probably would.
Answer Jesus.
Save the sinners. Question.
Here's the would you
If
rather
you had two doors, one
And
One
one cup.
two doors, one cup.
and two birds?
Two
Where would you stick the bird?
better than one in the bush.
Two birds in one cup is better than one in the bush.
That it is. It's like, that. What would you do? You could almost say that whole thing and then say, "What book would you choose to read?"
What's your
Something
what's your
about
favorite ice cream?
ornithology?
You know, or like, what is the marital status of the number 5?
Five. Okay. Would you rather forget who you were or who everyone else was?
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
Hmm.
Man.
It would be nice that everybody else forgot you.
I could just go in my apartment and never leave, and nobody's worried about me. Or
Don't get calls. Hey, how you doing today?
yeah, hey, we're just worried about you.
Everybody gets sent to voicemail. You
Yeah.
don't know anybody.
Yeah, man.
I think
That's-
I don't know. Probably forget yourself. That'd be pretty interesting. You'd
Well, I'd
learn a
forget
lot.
myself. Because it would just hurt everyone else for
I
me
mean,
to
would it-
forget them.
And then you're
Yeah.
just doddering around going,
Who am
ha 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 ha.
So it's like
So
to
like,
the
what
point
happened to
of
Dave?
you would
Why
have,
is he mowing his lawn right now?
But he's not mowing. He's just sitting on his mower.
Just going ha ha ha.
He saw a groundhog poke his head up and was just like, and he thought he was laughing at something, so he's like, ha 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 ha, groundhog. No, not a good analogy.
Self humor?
Lack of self
What?
Yeah.
humor. Well, what's your answer, Becca?
I don't know. Neither. I think I'd just go
Yeah,
with
just
neither.
go with yeah, okay. The easy neither.
Okay,
Game
here's-
master's privilege. We'll call
mm.
that.
Here's
I'd fix a sandwich.
Here's a really good one. You find a book and begin to read it, only to discover that it is your life. You get to the point that you are at now. Do you turn the page, knowing that you will not be able to change the events to come?
No.
Turn the page.
I'd be interested to see what it is.
Would you skim? I'd skim.
No.
I'd flip forward and skim for keywords. And
Just
No,
like,
the whole thing, I can't just skim for parts.
yeah, just flip, like, I don't know, 20 years. I don't know, like 1 year per page or whatever. Flip
Yeah,
like 20 years and just read like one sentence.
But at that time, if you read it, wouldn't you be able to change it because you saw the signs that are coming? So you can do the opposite of it.
you can't change it. What happened, happened.
You turn the page and it says,
But it hasn't happened
just
yet.
then, he turned the page and died.
And blood out. Can't change it. You can't change it. Watch Lost or something. I'll teach you about it.
Can't change it.
But I wonder if you saw something good, if it would be a motivator, or if you would just accept that that's what was going to happen, and then it never happens because you're unmotivated because you think it's just going to happen.
Can't change it.
That's the thing. There's unless you can change it, there's no point in looking.
Guys, you can change. If you're overly masculine, you can change.
You don't have to feel guilty about it.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying, though? Like,
Yeah.
if you can't do anything, then there would be no point in looking. Because either you would get apathy or you would have, like, fucking horror. Or maybe you'd be happy. But I think it would just be like, oh, okay, yeah. Most of our lives are going to be like, yeah, okay, some good things happen, some shitty things happen, and then you die. Like, why would... it just don't... Unless you could change it. Now, if you were like, here's a possibility, this is a good possibility that this will happen. Then I'll look at that. And go, okay. Here's what I can see. Here's what I can't see, and here's what I can prove.
I think I would look like 20 years ahead and be like, okay, am I still delivering pizza, and how do I feel about that? am I still feeling okay about that? Good. Am I? Oh, I'm not, but I'm doing something cooler or something. You know what I mean? Like that would be interesting. Because I mean, I'm like I don't need a lot of changes. I'm pretty content. You know. So
I think whether or not I would read it would depend on the author. Like if it was Stephen King, probably not.
There.
But if it was somebody else, anybody else, if it was interesting enough how they portrayed it, if it was like really detailed about everything, I don't know.
Well, then it's not a year a page. It's Stephen King.
Yeah, it's fucking. I once lied to my mom and told her that I read the book It so that I could get all those pages on the Book It challenge.
Get the free pizza.
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's a long book.
It's
man.
fucking 1,800 pages. Shit, I got a lot of cool shit for that. It wasn't Book It. It was something else. It was like, it was in Montana, so it was like, you know, small town. It was just a reading incentive program, and they're like, yeah, you read this many pages, you get this. You read this many pages, you get this. I was like, I'll get the biggest fucking book in the library.
Hey, nobody had a concern at your old kid reading it. Like your mom wasn't like,
Oh, it's a book. It's fine.
Yeah, that's kind of how it was back then. It was like, oh, you're reading, great.
he's a preteen. They have a preteen gangbang. I mean, it's in the
in there.
book. I mean, it's not weird.
No.
Oh.
Patrick just had up a webpage that was just a bunch of puppies running,
Yeah.
and when I looked at it, he closed it in shame.
No, it's because it didn't get brought up, so it'll be brought up next week, I guess.
Okay.
Because we ran out of
Running puppies. That's what you have to look forward to next week, folks.
running puppies.
Punning ruppies.
Yes, puppies. Makes me happy.
So you really want to tune into the live stream because it's going to be visual.
That's
How
right.
else are you
Next
going to
week.
see puppies? Becca, it's that time of show again.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm going to say it real quick.
Is it?
As
it?
That's not what I sound. It's that. I sound like that.
Oh, I thought you were doing that on purpose.
Is it? I did, but I
Oh.
don't sound. He makes me sound.
What Dave did.
All right. Shut up and get ready for some art. This one's called Cry Closet. Cry Closet. I want to have this established. I'm glad you get to experience it the way shit is nowadays. Can't trust anything you see. Whether you're learning to be a good leader or to be a compassionate monster, they suck the same amount out of you. More and more, worse and worse, until you're left with no structure, because they are the same thing.
More and more, I'm like losing track. Like, who the fuck said that and when and what?
Oh, yeah, I never know anymore.
There's something that I've been doing more lately, which is sometimes just taking words instead of sentences and mashing up words to make a sentence. And so a lot of it is going to be super jumbled.
Like
but
compassionate monster.
yeah. But those were close together. Those two words were. They just weren't in the same sentence.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Haywood Banks.
Thank you.
Everyone,
Yeah.
go out and find your very own Cry Closet.
Before you do, leave a 5-star review on iTunes. Be sweet.
Yeah. Before
Oh.
iTunes is gone.
What about that Patreon?
Yeah, leave money on that. That'd be great.
That's good stuff.
I do it.
If you find a suitcase with a bloody note that says "don't," just go ahead and turn that over to Patreon. and
Yeah,
our
you
name.
can send that.
Yeah, let us worry about what the don't means.
I might give you a really good Johnny story for that.
There you go. The one, the big one, the one we've all been waiting for 2+ years.
You owe at least who's donating on there?
Joseph.
Yeah,
I was
Joseph,
say at least Joseph.
Kegel, I think
He owes
Kegel,
people a
Brad.
Super secret Johnny story. And Dave owes them a seat.
And
No,
a song.
the only one that got it was Brad because he donated $2 per episode. That was the deal on Patreon.
There's also a song that you promised to people on Patreon the very first time we played Smash or Trash. Your song about being in a bad mood to the tune of Catch in the Cradle.
Oh, when we first did it.
Remember
I
that.
just listened to that episode.
Yeah.
What happened?
That sounds so good.
Yeah.
I don't remember. All right then.
Better get to work.
This is